and Nichole. We're on My DJ's radio show. And we have special guests today.
Hi, I'm Carmen for Hillis Chambers.
I'm Sherry Eli Johnson.
And we are in the house, all right? So you're about to get educated on a number of different things. Please get interested, get some popcorn, get situated, and dig in. We want you to be involved. So take some notes. You know, this conversation is just the beginning, and we're going to expand. We're going to be talking about the Less Homeless Project, personal stories and experience, kind of for a million different reasons, but one of the reasons that we're doing this is to open up people's minds to why and how homelessness happens. Because for the most part, people assume they know, and that's a crime, because then we can't do anything about it. You got to take steps along the way, baby steps if we have to make a difference, make a change in people's lifestyles and how we interact with each other, so we can be more connected, because isn't that what it's all about? So
That's right.
very cool. So you guys educate me. How did you guys come to meet, for example?
Perfect. Okay. I have always felt the need to help the homeless on my own. Like, I do better just putting things in my vehicle in the trunk and going down and passing that out and talking to them and trying to understand what I can do or what anyone else can do to make their life better. Mm-hmm. So I find it better to build a relationship. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I was going to clean out my closet, but I wanted God to direct me to a person that could fit my things. So one of the things I do is I make it a point to pray before I go down there. I say, so Lord, lead me to somebody who's big here, big here.
Hey!
And that's how I met Carmen. I said, girl, wait a minute. So we were friends all the time. I said, and we've been friends ever since.
Very good. I like it.
So one of the things I found with Carmen, I'm always myself. I try to keep it real. And one of the things I did, I was like, look, Carmen, if you need something, let me know. That's all you have to do. You don't have to feel ashamed because, you know, I know your situation. Even if I didn't know your situation, my job is to give and not judge. So I was blessed to meet you. I love you so much. And I just make it a point to go, and whatever her need is, she'll tell me or not. A lot of times she won't say anything. She'll text me. Say, it would be nice to see you. About that.
Okay? Hey, that's a good opener. I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and how I ended up going down to this specific location was because we want to do a concert, a homeless benefit concert for the homeless, and I had met through you Jackie from Hugs and Bags. So that same lot was, I kept saying, I keep seeing like a stage there and bands and things like that. And I know it was just a vision God was probably giving me. And then someone else, I told her, I started listing some of the things that I'm doing, and someone else responded and said, hey, I want to do a homeless, and you know, I won't mention her name. She didn't give me the authorization to do so, but it's just another person that's helping with ideas and able to contact resources. So this won't just be a benefit concert, but it'll be, as Crystal Phoenix would say, it's Love Thy Neighbor Day. Right. So we can give back to our own community, and we can make all of us feel whole. Because that's our job. You know, it's not fair not to take care of people in need, exactly, and not to judge their need. Or one of the things I do is I listen, and I listen to their story, because everybody's not mean. I think a lot of people have encounters with homeless people, and they'll see the mean one that says things, and they don't understand that that person possibly has mental illness or a lot of things wrong with them. So that's how they characterize homelessness. That's not homelessness. That's one encounter. That person, you don't know what their story is, as the same as with Carmen and my friend Julie and anyone else. So I was blessed to meet Carmen, and I'm trying to help Carmen and hope that everybody else can, because she's got some things going on. She'd love to share.
I think sometimes there's such a misconception about homelessness that maybe even people we know, we don't realize the depth of the struggle that they have. So you could be sleeping on your friend's couch and still be homeless.
That's exactly
right.
So
it's a really thin line between what is and what isn't homelessness. And I kind of feel awkward almost putting everyone in a box of homeless. Like, I'm an artist, so I get put in a box all the time. It's like, you behave this way because I assume that.
Right.
And you don't know who people are until you give them a chance to find out. Or you open up your mouth and say hello to anybody and everybody.
That's
and then
right.
That's where you start learning. So let's learn about you, my friend.
All right. It's wonderful to be here today.
Oh,
I didn't wake up this morning
Likewise.
thinking that I would actually be here. I actually never thought I would actually be, quote, homeless. I don't, I want to shed a lot of light on actually being homeless just in general and ways that the community can help.
Great.
So I'm not going to, make this all about my story.
Sure.
But just briefly give you a little bit of background. I never planned on, like I said, ever thought. I literally woke up one day, married, children, car in the driveway, mortgage, out on the streets.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a humbling experience. I've gone from having what I thought everything that was important to having literally nothing. And the struggles, it's a lot of struggles. I've actually, though, learned so much. And there was a reason I was brought here. I'm a born again Christian, and I know 100% that I needed this for a variety of reasons. And through God's grace, I have survived, and I know I will continue. And with Sherry's help and working together, and making
evolve into a new situation.
absolutely,
for sure.
absolutely.
Very cool.
But there are, like I said, there are so many reasons people are homeless. I always thought it was what we saw on television, or the bag,
Right.
lady.
The first depictions you come to see. Yeah.
And that's not the case. I mean, of course there are those, but there's a lot of mental illness. There's those that are just stuck, confused on where they need to be. It's services that are, there's so many services that are needed.
Which we want to make a list of what these are.
Absolutely.
Because we talk about basic needs. I mean, can you guys go throughout the day without water? Without your coffee? That's a luxury item. People, they're like, did you have your breakfast? That's a luxury item, folks. We take it for granted.
It is. And it's, for me, it was going from having all those things to nothing. I mean, it was quite a shock, but for own personal reasons, I needed to go through that.
Sure.
But there's no need, for the homeless to go, without so many things that are needed.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't have any money that comes in. I mean, it's a misconception to think that they all have money, and that's not the case. That's not the case.
Right.
And so there needs to be community needs to pull together and come up with some solutions to help, and I mean, everybody's got some clothes. Everybody's got something in their house that they can,
extra. If you're complaining about clutter, you are the perfect person to donate.
That's right.
All right, or you've got some food that's gonna, that you need to, that's gonna spoil. That go ahead. Or you see a sale at the grocery store, go ahead and pick that up, and you can go to your local community and just. I mean, it doesn't have to be downtown San Diego where
That's right.
where we met.
Where it's more visible.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's everywhere. Yeah.
Everybody's hungry out there.
Exactly.
You've got a suitcase, you've got clothing.
Right.
And
think about how easily we can interact with you. If we have a need, you call them up right away. Imagine not having that luxury. Whenever you think you need something or know you need something, but you can't call on anyone to do it because you're out of reach, out of touch.
The majority of the homeless do not have cell phones.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't even know how to turn on a computer. And those are things that they do need. They need people to come in and assist them and show them, the modern technology. You have a lot of the elderly that are out there.
Sure. Develop skill sets that makes it easier to exist and accommodate yourself once you have access to it. We live by the internet. Businesses thrive off of the internet. We just need to invent a new way of communication, which is going back to face-to-face, hello, how are you, what are you doing, how can I help you?
Exactly.
And the community needs to get together, your local churches.
Yeah, so what are some of the places you find you like what they're doing and maybe want to see more of it? Some of the churches and everything.
Well,
Or spell the lack, because there's more of a lacking than there is.
Well, there needs to be communication between the churches. Those that, I mean, we have individuals that'll come out. They'll have some extra clothing or food that they just want to go ahead and give out. And then you'll find that there'll be regular feedings. For instance, there's a Catholic church that comes out on a regular basis and and feeds.
Right. And you're saying there's an overlapping.
Right. So, there needs to be some communication. Right. We need to make sure that everybody's fed every day of the week, not
So the efforts are being properly managed. I get you. That makes sense.
We do have, it's called the Nichole Good Day Center. That actually is a location that the homeless are able to attend actually during the day. From 6 a.m. in the morning until about 4 in the afternoon. It's where the homeless can go in. They can have their mail sent to them.
Oh, wow.
There is some computer, access. They can make local phone calls.
Right.
They can, watch some television.
Yeah.
It's like a daycare center for
I get you.
for the homeless.
No, it's a getaway.
The only thing is that the showers, a couple months back actually, the roof actually caved in, and so there's no longer the showers available.
Wow.
And so now that not only are homeless on the streets, they're also going without showers.
Wow.
And there's obviously a need for hygiene for them to have, to have that. And as far as I know, there's nothing in the works as far as getting that taken care of. And I know that Nichole Good is through the Alpha Project. And I do know that there's a lot of money there, and for whatever reason, and I don't know I don't know exactly what's going on as far as that's concerned, but there needs to be something. I know that St. Vincent de Paul's has opened up Monday through Friday, limited hours, there's showers for those that are members of the Nichole Good, but there's, like I said, it's not...
I mean, it's limited. Like, how many stalls are there to even do that?
Right, and the thing is that it's not weekends. Nichole Good.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yeah, really? Nichole Good's is 7 days a week, so you could take a shower every day if you wanted to.
That's awesome.
We could get the shower heads fixed.
We're making a list.
But now we've got St. Vincent's.
Carpenters. Calling on carpenters.
Don't be shy.
Tell them what we need.
We got Home Depot on our side. Home Depot, I'm coming to talk to you.
Are you watching us?
IKEA. Bigger plans.
And like I said, I don't know the logistics, but I do know that the showers aren't functioning, and I'm not quite sure who actually is in charge. If it's a city permits or what is actually needed.
Good. Yeah, very good question. We'll find out.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
This
you
is
can't
ongoing.
Fix something until you know it's broken, right?
And this is something that's ongoing. And so, and there just needs to be more people like Sherry going out there and communicating. I mean, you're always going to. You can't, unfortunately help, everyone, but those that want to be helped.
Sure.
I mean, sometimes just making a phone call for them or getting a hold of a family member makes a big difference.
Right.
Or, like a lot of times they'll say, can you just make the call? You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, you call.
There you go.
You call.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then a lot of people go, well, you're doing this, you're doing this and you're doing that. He got me.
Right.
Don't trip.
Right. We all take turns taking care of each other. Yeah. We were all spoon-fed once upon a time, believe it or not. Right.
Yeah. So and you never know. Phases. Right. And you never know when this could happen to you.
That's right.
And from what I hear, you're the giver in your community.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. This is Mama here.
Well,
oh my God. I just have to say that she is amazing. Like, when I pull up, they all know. Where's Carmen?
BFFs, all that good stuff.
Where's Carmen? They go, here she is over here. She won't leave the area without the baby. There's a baby there. She makes sure the baby's okay. Are you okay, honey? You all right? Yeah, she takes care of everybody. She's mother hen. That's amazing.
So what is your day typically like? And what's a good day, what's a bad day, let's say?
Well, I try to make the most of my day. Like I said, being relatively a baby in this, in this situation. I mean, I'm out there with I'm a newbie. They've been out there for 30 years.
Right.
Basically, being outside, we have to, the police come and monitor everything. San Diego law says 5:30 a.m. You must be up by 5:30.
What?
Absolutely.
You have to
And
be up by 5:30?
5:30.
Why? What do they do with that?
5:30, 5 a. You know, some are 5 a.m. and they actually at that point, you know, will start running. You know, your name, you know, a ticket,
Wow. Yeah. What are the things you get tickets for?
everything. It just depends on any given day.
Right.
I mean, I understand they're there to protect the community, but at the same time, it's injustice for, you know, for the homeless.
Right.
And everybody's afraid to ask because first things first, you know, they're meeting their quota.
Yeah. I guess. Ugh. We need more
sad.
productive interaction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But San Diego, the officers that walk around say 5:30 a.m. is when you're up, and then 9 o'clock is when you can actually lay down,
Okay.
go to sleep.
9 o'clock at night?
9 o'clock at night. So
I
that
had
leaves
no idea.
Yeah. So that
What?
they can ticket you.
Talk about control and in the
Absolutely.
wrong kinds of ways.
And
wow.
so you downtown San Diego, you've got a lot of homeless. And what are they supposed to do between 5:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. at night?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And your neighborhood, what is your neighborhood like? Because I know people, you know, I used to go to Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara. The homeless population there, we're actually doing all right. Like, the students fed them. You have outdoor concerts all the time. They're the happiest ones dancing all around. So they have
Wow.
So sometimes people go to the beach. But I've actually heard stories. So Utah has a program where they house the homeless and all these other aspects of society increase. Like, it costs less to house the homeless than to punish them for what they can't even help themselves with at this time. Other places, I think Washington, if I'm not mistaken, is giving homeless one-way tickets to San Diego. So people aren't dealing with the problem. They're putting homeless and displacing the homeless, and you already feel out of place in your own town. You know, it's like you're getting shuffled around. You can't even exist. We sleep in the daytime. You sleep so your body can rest. So if you're not able to sleep, it's the happiest place to be sometimes. So it's
it's a never-ending, you know, situation. You're basically, you know, for all those hours you're up, and there's not. Okay, we have the Neil Good Day Center. We do have a library that's close by. I'm actually 12th and Imperial. Anybody that knows that area, your mother's warned. I was always warned not to, you know, just
Stay away from there.
stay away from there. And I found myself for the last 8 or 9 months actually in that, you know, in that area, and I've just tried to myself being educated and coming from a different way of life than a lot of the others. I you know, once I was able to grasp reality that I was in this situation, I mean, I try to use my time. I go to the library, but I'm computer literate. I'm able to do that. You know, I'm able to go on and do research for my family, you know, my family court case so that I can get back home with my children and use my time, you know, wisely.
Sure.
But, you know, I have the building blocks. I was, you know, given I have the tools, but there's a lot out there that don't. And so just you know, imagine you have your teenage kids at home also, you know.
Right.
I mean, they get themselves in trouble.
Right.
And there's just, you know, nothing for them to do.
Right. It's hard to be a parent when you're struggling yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, alternating between needs of family. I mean, you have like a full family, right? And you were a teacher before, is that right?
Yes, I do have a teaching credential. Was a stay-home mom before I found myself in this, you know, situation. But I'm just trying to. I plan on giving back to the homeless community, and I guess I actually had to walk in their shoes or to experience
it. Makes sense in a weird way. It's better to have the perspective so you know where to help.
Absolutely, and this will be something that I will continue to do.
Yeah. What would you say are some of the biggest needs? So there's shelters that are there, but then the facilities aren't up to speed. So then what are some other things that outright would be best to fix right away, prioritize? Even on a personal level, it doesn't have to be like a community facility we need to upgrade. It's outreach. Like, what would make the biggest impact in your day? What would make you feel better about how everything happens?
I like to see more interaction from the general public, whether it's an individual, individual people. I mean, coming out to see churches, youth groups. You know, let's get our youth involved.
Right, absolutely.
I mean,
awareness, build
absolutely,
awareness, yeah.
absolutely. You get all the Scared Straight programs and all that. You know, get the kids out in the community.
They're the most
giving back.
compassionate most of the time.
Absolutely.
We need them. We need their eyes on this because they're the ones that are willing to make the change. Older people, they look at it from a distance, I feel like, too many times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I believe that some are under the misconception that the homeless just, they want. Not necessarily they would like to have some of your time. Just have someone come out like Sherry does and communicate with them and offer to make that phone call for them. Or just to talk.
Right.
You know?
Definitely. I actually met a guy around San Diego downtown area, and I was told by another homeless person that he was one of the nicest guys on the block. Awesome. So he didn't speak that much, but when he did, I learned that he had a family, he had a kid, and by the end of our conversation, he was singing. So it's amazing how some interaction, any interaction, can change your pace of your day. I mean, something out of the norm. If you have this lifestyle where you're getting bombarded by cops first thing in the morning, getting commanded when you can or can't sleep, what are the small rewards in the day, and what are some of the things that really turn your day around?
Well, feeling like a human being, having, like I said, the churches, individuals coming out and greeting you, talking to you, treating you like a human being.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, that's
It's strange to think that people need coaching on that.
I know.
It's like we have to go back to the basics.
Right.
And what would you say if there are people that want to reach out but maybe don't know where to start? Would you have any advice for them?
Well, come on out, and we have, we do see it from time to time. We'll see people driving by just pulling over and, helping out. Winter's coming.
Sure.
Coats are needed.
Exactly.
Sleeping bags.
Right.
I mean, all of that. Your local church, contact your local church in the area.
Okay. Yeah, because they can disseminate
Youth programs,
people. Okay.
absolutely.
That makes sense.
One of the things that I find that's most beneficial is baby wipes are like a shower.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Right.
Blankets, that concrete gets cold. And generally they'll take either a shopping cart or whatever their belongings are, and they hide them in the bushes. Do you know what happens when they send the landscapers out for the city and the government? And not only do they clean it up, they take the blanket. That's a lot of times she'll tell you, I bring trash bags to put the blanket in, because they'll take that trash bag and throw it at the bottom and then throw all the trash on top. So that person lost their blanket, or they can't find it at all. I can't tell you how many blankets I've taken, Julie.
Oh my God.
They constantly lose
horrific.
their things. Yeah, because it's just so unfair. It's not that hard. Just pull it out and go set it by the trash can. That's all the government worker or whoever these.
No, I just heard this person who's doing community service. I know, he said, of all the things we could develop in our community, they were knocking out the neighborhoods of the homeless. Like there's a space in North San Diego, and they carved pathways like in the landscaping. Like it was actually beautiful. Like someone should have documented it from what I heard. Like I imagined the whole thing.
Right.
And to think that the best way they can spend their time is to make someone who's already having a hard time rebuild from scratch again. Like there's something wrong with our culture that you think that's okay.
Exactly.
Well, and you got to understand too, some of these people have actually been out 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
All right, the shopping carts they're pulling around, they're pushing around is their life. It's everything they have.
Everything they,
All right. I mean, I come from a little bit of a different, perspective as far as myself. I mean, I've only been out, like I said, about 8 months, and I have hopes of being able to go back home.
Sure.
A lot of this is their life, and they either have chosen for whatever reason to stay out, or for whatever reason, they think that this is all that they're ever going to have. And
Sure.
so, and that, you know, that's another aspect that we can touch at some other time. But it's their lives, it's their home, it's everything that they have.
Right.
Right. No, we need to
Because
touch that
Yeah.
now. We need to let them know when you see those bags and they have those blankets in them. You know, that just
There's
think of
different
that
reason.
Think that could be somebody, a family member.
Right.
You know, just have
I
enough
know.
consideration sitting by the trash dumpster, because trust me, they're coming to get it. They gotta go to sleep that night.
Right.
Right.
You know, she'll tell you. Remember when I brought you the boots? It was
Yeah.
sprinkling outside. I had to hurry up and get down and dig her some boots.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's an extension of me.
Mhm.
She's my friend.
Mhm.
How would you treat a friend?
Right. Exactly.
You know, how would you treat God's people? How would you? It's just unfair.
Yeah.
And for those that
Ooh, sorry.
have trouble
I've been distracted.
understanding, need to spend a day.
right.
Spend a day outside,
Right.
you know, without any of the luxuries,
Absolutely.
without a cell phone,
Right. Without,
without
it being a picnic.
a
or
bank
some,
card, without cash in your
Right.
pocket,
That's
without,
really
you know,
good.
without
Right.
anything. You know,
Right.
find your, you know, without anything at all, and having to spend the night outside on the pavement. I guarantee you, you'll have a different perspective.
Absolutely.
You know, I
And-
know I do.
Yeah.
Right. And then to think that the things you can accumulate just to have some kind of comfort level, whether it's in a car,
Right.
and you get ticketed for it, they put you in jail. Homelessness is becoming a crime in more cities
Right.
as we go along. How is that productive? How is that going to help the situation? You guys are just perpetuating it. Homelessness starts at super young age for a lot of people. So they have a suggestion. Instead of the carts, we have suitcases. If you have any spare suitcases, we need to be handing these out because they won't get fined for it. Imagine being homeless, getting a $1,000 ticket. Is that right? That's
And they
just
can't
one
pay
day.
it.
The next day they can give you another $1,000 ticket if they want to.
And they
Julie
can't
got
pay
3,
it.
And her friend got 3.
and now I can't find her, so I'm assuming she got arrested.
And they will arrest.
She's arrested. I know
I
she's
mean,
How
arrested.
do
you
you justify that? Like, I want to know what the conversation is.
And you can be arrested if you're on the sidewalk, you know, past 5:30 a.m. It's the cop's discretion.
What?
All right, and you also got to understand.
Where are you supposed to go?
There's a good percentage of homeless that are actually been incarcerated, that have gotten out from your local jails and prisons, that have nowhere to go, and so they're already on some
That too,
sort
yeah.
of probation.
Right.
And it's
Oh,
just
man.
a revolving door, and they're really trying to do what they need to do.
Wow. I never
And once
thought
you're in the
about that.
system, it's really hard to, you know.
To be treated with respect.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, because they run your name. First thing they do is they run your name, and then they just assuming,
Right.
and all they're trying to do is get back on their feet too. And so that's another
Right.
issue that needs to be, you know, to be
Sure.
addressed. There's just so much.
The start of the conversation, you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to dissect this more. We want to hear what your opinions are. We want to know what your stories are. Ask someone you know if you think they're struggling. It might be a bigger hole than you imagine. I mean, that's where assuming is on the safe side, that there's more you don't know than you do.
That's true.
So, what is your life motto? What gets you through every day?
Well, knowing that there is a reason for everything, and that I'm going through, I mean, this, you know, the struggles I'm going through, things that I'm needing to learn. It's been a humbling experience,
Yeah.
and for what reason? I mean, I know that I needed to find myself in the situation. I mean, I needed to go through this to
Build yourself
understand.
back up almost.
And choices. I wish I had made different choices, you know, along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But all I can
Sure.
do is learn.
Sure.
And I know it's God that's picking me up. It's not myself. And I know that God brings special people into your life. And sometimes we just need to stop and listen to what He's trying to tell us and what we need, you know, what needs to be done.
Yeah, I think so. I think we all have more power to contribute than we allow ourselves to. And we make excuses all the time. Either I'm too busy, or it's not my problem, or whatever it is. And they're all excuses because we're all capable.
That's right.
So,
I remember, you know, one last thing. I remember when I was a little girl, my dad was the type that would always, no matter who you were, I mean, he helped out everybody. And he'd be home late for dinner.
it's a great lifestyle.
My mom would say, "Where have you been?" And he, you know, there'd be a lady walking down the street with a couple of kids that needed some groceries. He'd run off, go get the groceries, you know, just
Yeah.
things like that. And he always he never had, you know, an unkind word to say, or and he was always there for, you know, to help somebody. And you know, in memory of him, I just, you know, recently lost him. Have to throw that.
No, it's okay.
You know, while some choices that I made while I've been out here, was not communicating with my, you know, with my family. Just embarrassment, you know, being ashamed, wondering what they had been told, and wish I had made, you know, different decisions. And you know,
That's
this is one of my
hard, not be able to tell your own story. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I've learned too that sometimes we just, like I said, you need to stop and listen. And I want everybody to know that what's in my heart and what, you know, my passion now is. But at the same time, it's, you know, it's actions and it's...
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not just basic needs we have. It's also what you do with your time to feel good as a person. To remind yourself what your own personality is, like what you enjoy, that you need time for that, and not to be restricted by or burdened by cops. They're supposed to be on your side, and they need to be more constructive, I think, in their actions. And yeah,
They have some compassion.
Right.
They're not very compassionate from the stories I'm hearing. Not all cops are like that either.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure they see it daily, but...
Well, and I think it takes people like what you said to experience something to know that you're in a position to help, that you want to help, that you need to help yourself even.
That's
You have to fall to know you need to make a change sometimes.
Right.
It's true. But we don't want you to struggle in it by yourself, so you let us know. We'll be your loudspeaker.
Tell me what... I asked Carmen today a question I never asked her before. I said, Carmen, do you want to get off the street?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I said, because you are.
Yeah.
You just with the wrong girl.
I like it. I like it.
Off the street.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I like it. Very cool.
But I needed to make this detour.
Yeah.
This detour was, you know, not making it, you know, all about me, but it was something, you know, I'm an advocate. Once I get behind something, I'm full force. And, you know, the homeless community, for whatever reason, I need to be, you know, brought into it. And with Sherry's help, once I get out, you know, I will be given back to the community.
Amazing. Well, one thing, I don't even know if I told you about this, with My DJ's Radio, super nice to host us, and we're here. But the next level is I have a live event called Ready, Set, Speaker Series, where we're a little limited here on time, but in that setting, you get to spell it all out. And we get to have people face-to-face, and we can be more interactive and really document where people are coming from and how to make a difference. So it's all about us coming together, whatever your skills are, and spread the word. Nice. And not just spread the word, you guys. We're starting projects, and we need people to follow through with them. It's not just an idea that we want to help. There's lots of people out there like, I wish I could help. There's nothing I could do. Another excuse. So we just need to knock those down and build back up again.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I love learning about you. I'm not done. I want to learn about you. You too. We got homeless benefit concerts coming up. If you're a singer, let us know. We want you involved.
Singer, musician, what is it? Spoken
Live
word,
artist,
spoken
whatever
word,
it is. Yeah.
comedy. Because we want to entertain them for the whole
For sure.
day.
And one other thing I want to talk about, introduce.
camera.
Hi, hi. It's all about expression and all different kinds of expression. We're talking about song. We're talking about speech, spoken word. We got a little art packet right here. This is for you, my friend.
Thank you.
I want you to spell out your sentiments, whatever they are. There's actually a little tiny canvas, compliments of Garrett Jones, this little packet.
Oops, I know him.
Sorry, I built these canvases. You want more? I'll make them.
All right.
So pretty cute. You can start small and
There you
then
go.
you go up.
That works.
We can make.
That's sweet.
So that way you have people communicating in a different way. You know, like sometimes you just have to pick your medium. I think
Absolutely.
you have to find what your tool is, and we use them. So.
I love it. That's
Thank
so
you,
awesome.
ladies.
Thank you.
All right. We'll chat soon, folks. You're going to hear more about us. This woman right here, Sherry, Carmen, and the Less Homeless Project. All right? Get involved. We're ready for you. Thanks.
You know, no matter how much I plan, no matter how much I